27th President, William Howard Taft, is the only United States president with the distinction of having also served on the Supreme Court. Not only that, but he would also serve as the court's Chief Justice. Taft served as president from 1909 to 1919. Some considered him to be the most qualified man to ever serve in the office. His family had a long and prestigious history in politics and law. His father, Alphonso Taft, served as Attorney General and Secretary of War under 18th President Ulysses S. Grant. Prior to becoming president, William Howard Taft had worked as a lawyer and served as a federal judge, Solicitor General of the United States, and the Secretary of War under President Theodore Roosevelt. His life goal since youth was to serve on the Supreme Court. In fact, in 1889, when Taft was only 32 years old, he was considered for position on the court. If granted, it would have made him one of only 4 men to ever be appointed under the age of 40. However, at the time, he was passed up for the position. At age 55, he became president. He only served a single term, losing the 1912 election to Democrat Woodrow Wilson. This may have been due to Theodore Roosevelt running as a third candidate in the general election. Roosevelt, a fellow Republican, had previously supported Taft, but was disappointed in his presidency. 8 years after leaving office, Taft was appointed as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court in 1921, at age 63. His time as Chief Justice has been considered more important to the nation than his time as president, as the Taft Court made several important rulings. He'd even administer the oath of office to 2 presidents, Calvin Coolidge and Herbert Hoover. His time as Chief Justice was from 1921 to 1930. In February 1930, at age 72, he resigned as Chief Justice due to severely declining health. He died the following month. Taft had never wanted to be president. He only accepted the Republican nomination at the urgings of his wife and then-president Theodore Roosevelt, who at the time wanted Taft as his successor. His reflections on being president were almost always negative. A letter from Taft to Democratic presidential candidate John Davis read, quote, "The strain, the worry, the craving for the mere opportunity to sleep without interruption, the flabbiness of one's vocal cords, the necessity for always being in good humor, and the obligations to smile when one would like to swear, all come back to me." Justice Felix Frankfurter once wrote of Taft, quote, "He loathed being president, and being Chief Justice was all happiness for him."